Hi guys, and welcome to this video. So what we're going to be doing here today is we're going to be speed painting this bloat drone for you. Right, so let's get the first colour on. So the first colour is our base colour of Death Guard green, and we'll get that over. Now it does take me about 3 coats to get this to a good solid colour, but I only record the one. So here's the one for you. And there we have it, as if by magic, all 3 layers are on. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get the Athonian camo shade and give this a good solid all over wash all over the parts we just painted with that base colour. Make sure it's not pooling in everywhere. Now I am using a large brush here, but I do keep going back and moving it around, making sure it doesn't pool up in any areas where I don't want it to. Okay, so now using Ogun Camo, we're going to give the model a heavy dry brush, just getting and picking out all the edges of the armour, which will really contrast against and bring out the deepest recesses of the armour panels and really highlight any cracks or anything in the armour. Right, so now using Balthazar Gold, we're going to go around and we're going to pick out all the decorative parts on the model. So I go around here, around the engines, there's some little spikes, I pick all those out. Then what I go around as well is there's some little spikes on the top of the model there, I'll pick all them out, and then you'll see some, looks like a spider on the front. I pick that out as well, and then some other little bits around the model. It's all down to your own preference really, how much you pick out, but I'll pick out the rivets and things as well afterwards. Just to give it that little bit of extra detail. Okay, so now another big part of the model, we're going to be using Screamer Pink for this. Now this, I love this colour, it goes on very smoothly when it's watered down. And we'll be picking out all the tentacles, any skin parts, things like that. Just have a good look around the model, and there is a little few bits here and there that you might miss, especially around towards the front of where the eyes are. There's some tentacles and things just under there. So now what we'll do is we'll get our lead belcher, and we're going to paint any cables, wiring, metal parts. So all the cables that are coming from the bottom, which are holding the model to the base, we'll paint. Also as well, we're going to be painting all the little fans that are inside the engine parts, just give them a coating with lead belcher, and just go around and just pick out all the wires, cables, and anything else that you think that may be metal as well. You can always put a little bit of lead belcher on there. Also as well, not forgetting, just put a bit of lead belcher just over the eye there, because we are going to be giving that a glaze later with a technical paint. Now grabbing some pink horror, and what we'll do is we'll give it, now you can give a heavy dry brush, a real heavy dry brush all over the Screamer pink, as we are going to be going back over with a wash over it later. So what we'll do here now is we'll go Brine Oxide and we'll paint those little wood growths just coming out the top of the panel there. Then while that dries, we'll take our Rakarth flesh and we'll paint all the spikes and little bony bits that are sticking out all the engine parts. And then what we'll do, once that dries, then we'll go back to the Brine Oxide and then we'll give that a dry brush with Rakarth flesh, because by the time we've done this step, the Brine Oxide will be dry and we'll just be able to take that over with a dry brush. Okay, so what we'll do now is we'll grab our black paint and then we'll back over those silver pipes. Now any of those pipes that have still got little bits of casing left on them, we're going to paint all those black. So all the little broken little bits of casing, just give those a coat of black. So what we're going to do now is we'll grab Agrax Earthshade or a brown wash of your choice. And we'll take that all over the gold bits and all of the exposed bone on the model. And you can take some into the deep recesses of the armour plates as well. Now with Nuln Oil or a black wash, now we go all over the silver bits of the model, all the wires and the fan parts inside the vents. And then finally with the red wash, I've got Caribou Crimson, we take that over all the exposed skin and tentacles. Okay, so here's my technique now for painting the coils. So I use Moot Green and I use Uriel Yellow. So firstly I've base coated the coils in Moot Green and then put a wash of Biltong Green over them just to get some shade in there. Then I go back to Moot Green, get a little bit on my brush with a little bit of water, and then I'll wipe it off on a paper towel or something just so there's a little bit of paint in there, and I'll just take that across the edges of the coil just to bring back the Moot Green colour. Then what we'll do is we'll go back to Moot Green again, grab a 1-to-1 now of Moot Green and Uriel Yellow and mix that in together. We get like a 50-50 mix of that. And then we're going to be taking that over to cover 3 distinct lines on the coils. So you'll see in a moment, I don't cover all of the coil, just one thick line on the left hand side, one thick line on the top, and then one thick line on the other side as well, just so then the darker little bit where the Moot Green originally was, there's distinct lines between the two. Now I'll go back in again, grab some more moot green, and I'll do a 2-to-1 mix now. So 1 moot green to 2 Uriel yellow. At this point, I wish I'd have gone for more yellow, just because the transition was too subtle. There wasn't enough of a gradient between each colour, so they kind of just blocked each other out. It just looked like one solid colour. Because of on this small surface, you can't really see the transition, so you can miss a couple of these steps or just add a bit more of one colour. So I probably would have gone a 3-to-1 or a 4-to-1 maybe. Between that, you can kind of see the transition, but once that dries, you can't really tell. It's only because it's wet paint that you can really see the transition while I'm painting it there. So I'd have probably missed a couple of steps out, or just put a bit more yellow into it just to give a more distinct gradient of colour. And then again here I'll go even further, putting more yellow. So this is the step I would have done there. So I kind of went back over the part I've just done, in a sense. So you can see that you change things as you go. So I'll change this so that I mixed a bit more Uriel yellow in, and the bit I just did, I cover up kind of, not all of it, but most of it, because the gradient, as you can see, the one I'm mixing with my brush, there's a lot of difference between that one and the one 2 steps ago. So the gradient's there to get the transition between the colours. Now finally, just taking pure Uriel yellow, and I'm just going to take this now. Always wipe the paint off. I have been wiping the paint off each time I've been doing this. You just can't see my paper towel because I'm zoomed in so close. And just pure Uriel yellow, and just take a line just down the centre of each of the gradients you've done. So then what I've done here now, I did this off camera. So what I did is I took a yellow wash. Now I used Cassandra yellow, and I just took that all over the coil just to blend those transitions further. And you can see it turns out quite well. And here we have it, Bloat drone finished. So, not the greatest colour scheme in the world. A few dry brushes, a few washes, keeping it simple. Seem complete. Now I have just literally painted the base, so I can't really hold him around the base at the moment, because obviously I don't want to get black paint. You can see the coils, it's nice and subtle. Obviously you can do a lot more, put a lot more into it obviously if you want to, but me, I'm happy with that. Simple washes, layer, a couple of dry brushes, and then another one to the Death Guard army. Hope you've enjoyed this video, guys. In terms of the eye as well, that was just I think it's the, what's it called, Lamenter's yellow glaze over a silver. A couple of layers brings it out to that. But as I was saying, if you do like this video, please leave it a like, comment as well. It's always appreciated. And I'll catch you again next time, guys. Take care. So that's the bloat drone done. And as usual, over there to the left, you'll see a little symbol where you can like my channel. Please subscribe if you can as well. Always helps. And over to the right, you'll see another video in the series for the Death Guard. And I'll catch you again next time.